Hello students, welcome to the POL.SCIENCE of class 11 arts, and today we will start with the another topic from chapter number 3, that is legislature. So previously we completed the introduction part. After that we read about the meaning of the legislature, that is parliament. After that we had gone through two pictures of the Parliament of India, that is actually known as Sansad in Hindi, and the two houses of parliament were Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. And we also read about two types of legislature prevalent in the world, that is number one is unicameral, where there is a one house or one chamber, and on the other hand there is bicameral, where there is two chamber of houses. So today we will proceed with the understanding of unicameral legislature in a broader way. So let us proceed then. The word uni means one and cameral means chamber. Unicameral legislature means one chamber or house. A legislature with one chamber is called as unicameral legislature. That means what? By the word itself you can see here, as I have told you earlier, that uni means one and cameral means chamber, that means one chamber or one house. A legislature with one chamber is called unicameral legislature. So this is the general definition related to the unicameral legislature. In the 18th and 19th century, unicameral legislature was very popular. The advocates of unicameralism felt that sovereignty which rests with the people is indivisible. The will of the people could be expressed through the legislative house. Thus, the concept of popular sovereignty demanded the establishment of a single chamber consisting of the members expressing the will of the people and their hopes and aspirations. So, in order to understand unicameral legislatures and its benefit, so this type of legislature having one house or one chamber was very popular in the 18th and 19th century. Clear? Why it was very popular? Because people believed that through unicameral legislature only, through one chamber of the house only, the people's wills or wishes could be forwarded by the ministers that will actually go to that houses, and they will hold some meetings, and under these meetings they can actually come across with the difficulties or the problems that people are facing. So what the people actually needs, that the will of the people can be forwarded through these legislative houses, which was a single chamber or single unit of houses in unicameral legislature. So this type of unicameral legislature was very popular in the 18th and 19th century, and the people also believed that all their wills and wishes could be fulfilled by this legislature or legislative houses. So unicameral legislature is now practiced in Greece, Turkey, Finland, Ethiopia, then Portugal, Bangladesh, New Zealand, Denmark, Sweden, Yugoslavia and Bulgaria. That means some of the countries that still is equipped with this unicameral legislature, that means one chamber or one house, is the countries that still practice this unicameral legislature are countries like Greece, then Turkey, then Finland, Ethiopia, Portugal, Bangladesh, New Zealand, Denmark, Sweden, Yugoslavia and Bulgaria, etc. And other than these also there are many countries, but some of the names are given that follows actually the unicameral legislature. Now moving on to the next point, that is merits of unicameral legislature. Number one merits or advantages of unicameral legislature is it is less expensive. As by the word itself you can feel that why it is less expensive, because it has only one chamber or one house. So let us read what is written actually. Unicameral legislature is less expensive as there is only one chamber in the legislature. So less amount of money is spent towards its maintenance and payment of allowances to the legislatures. That means why it is less expensive? For the fact that it has only one chamber, one house, and the number of ministers are allotted or appointed for that only one chamber. So as a result, what will happen? All the allowances and salaries that have to be paid to the members of that parliament will be less in number than with those countries who are having two houses of the parliament, that will have bigger expense than this unicameral legislature. So whatever the maintenance and salaries cost are there, which are being paid to the legislatures, are inexpensive or less expensive because of the fact that they have only one chamber or one house. After that, no duplication of work. So there is no chance of duplication of work in unicameral legislature. Once a bill is passed in this chamber, there is no change again for rediscussion. Every bill will be passed after thorough discussions at one time. That means, as in the bicameral legislature, you can see that any laws or policies that are being passed, that has to be passed by both the houses. But in a unicameral legislature, what happens? Any bills or laws that has to be passed can be passed easily in one house only, as there is no second house. So as a result, what will happen? The bill once passed will be considered as passed in all sections, as they have or they don't have any second house. So whatever the bill will be passed there in their legislature, that will be discussed thoroughly. That means no mistake should happen, other than they would take more time than the time taken by bicameral legislature. They will take more time, but they will go thoroughly through the bill, and once it is passed, it will be passed in all the spheres. After that, progressive legislation. So progressive legislation, under this, unicameral legislature provides for progressive legislation because this legislature is constituted on the basis of direct elections. Its members reflect and represent public opinion. Hence, the laws enacted by them are approved and obeyed by the people, as they are progressive. So, under progressive legislation, it is written that it is supporting progressive legislation because of the fact that it is constituted on the basis of direct election. So, whatever the members are elected, that are elected on the basis of direct elections. Its members reflect and represents public opinion. That means, as example, as if we talk about India, there are Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So in Lok Sabha, the people that we elect through our vote are nominated to the Lok Sabha, and the ministers that are being elected by indirect elections, that are being elected through indirect elections, are sent to Rajya Sabha. So as a result, what happens? We can say that the Lok Sabha is the house where we elect the people and send it to Lok Sabha. So they will represent our wishes, all our wills, what we want actually from them. They will have a say on the parliament in the Lok Sabha. But in the Rajya Sabha, the ministers are not elected by the common people. They are elected within by themselves through indirect elections. So in case of unicameral legislature, it can be said for sure that whatever the peoples are elected to the particular legislature, they are elected through direct elections. That means people choose them, and people choose them through their vote, and whatever the things they will convey in the parliament, that is the wills and wishes of the common people. So that's why it is written that it is supporting, or it is having progressive legislation. That means 100% members are elected through direct elections, and this represents what? The public opinion. Clear? So with that, I will wind up today's topic. So before winding up, today we have gone through the general definition of unicameral legislature. After that, we have also read why unicameral legislature was so popular in the 18th and 19th century, because the people believed that the unicameral legislature actually was the only source that would relive the concept of sovereignty. After that, we read about some of the countries that follows unicameral legislature, and after that we tried to understand about the three merits of unicameral legislature, which can also be called as the advantages. So number one advantages or merits was it is less expensive, then it has no duplication of work as there is only one chamber. Whatever the bills or laws are formulated, that if the bill is passed, then it will be assumed as passed because it has no second houses. And thirdly, we read about progressive legislation, because in unicameral legislature there is only one house of the parliament, so every member is elected to that single house is through direct election. That means people elect them through their or through casting their vote, and 100% of the members represents public opinion. They are being elected by the people. So in that way we can say that it is a kind of progressive legislation. So with that I will wind up today's topic. I hope that the points that we have discussed today is clear to you. Thank you.